everyone, this is Rish and welcome back to my channel. So we have a new patch update launching tomorrow and I thought we'd look top line at the patch update notes and see what's in store. So journey into the unknown with the founding Discord event. Since our last content update, souls have been ruptured with the season 17 battle pass, players have donned the walking nightmare cosmetic set and fresh blood was spilt with a return of the Conqueror limited time event. This update brings Whispers of Fables coming soon with the founding Discord limited time event, updates to the Trial of the Horde's PvP mode, class-wide changes and a variety of updates. So looking at the founding Discord event, while creeping through the underbelly of the keep, you slink past a major study and notice a warm glow emanating from beneath the door. The warm frame creeps open, surrounded by many trinkets and potions lies a singular orb swirling in mystery. You pause and gaze deeply, surprised to catch a faint glimmer of unknown events. Sounds interesting. Let's see if it says any more of that. So this event is from the 14th until the 25th. And adventurers over level 30 will gain a preview of deeds soon to unfold in Sanctuary. So during the event, you'll receive a 100% boost to experience gain from Battle Pass. And there are some prizes on certain days. So on the 15th of September, you get 3 rare crests. The 17th, you get a Telluric Pearl. And on the 21st, you get a Bound Legendary crest. So all you have to do is log in to claim those rewards by the looks of it. At the moment, it seems a bit ambiguous, but I'm sure we'll see more unfold once it launches. So with this update, we will see a return of the Trial of the Hordes event. So they are changing a couple of things with the matchmaking. So you can no longer identify your opponent when you're matched, and you can now re-queue without having to go back to West March. So you can basically just stay in the zone. They're also changing a little bit about how the winner is chosen. So basically, if both players are still alive at the end of the match, the person who's killed the most monsters wins. And if both players tie for kills, the player who took the least amount of damage will win. And there are sometimes tiebreaker decisions, and it will basically be the person that killed the monsters first that wins. The task for this will reset at 3 AM on server time on a Wednesday now as well. So they've changed that a little bit. And they have some different prizes here as well. So if you basically complete one match, you get 3,000 gold, 20 scrap. Defeat 150 monsters, 3,000 gold, 20 scrap, and so on. You can see it all on the screen there. So they've basically put some additional prizes in, which I think they had last time, so that doesn't really look much different to previously. So a couple of other returning events that we have in store is the Rising Damnation limited time event. I don't really remember this one from previously, but we will have different daily tasks to complete, and this is from the 9th till the 17th of September, and a variety of prizes up for grabs with that. We also have all clans on deck coming back, so that is a really nice easy event for some legendary gems as well, and you complete that with your clan. Then the next feature update is Battleground. So there's Battleground combat changes. So players now receive 30% less damage on top of existing damage reduction effects in both Battleground and the Rite of Exile. Thus, time to kill other players should be increased. Based on community feedback, we are changing the values when suffering a defeat and lower rank. So basically, the scores will not be affected so much when you have a loss in Battleground. This is the most interesting one. So changes to resonance levels during matchmaking. So when matchmaking against other players in PvP modes, players will now have to retain the same equipment once the match has been found and the confirmation screen appears. This fixes an exploit where players were able to change their resonance levels after successful matchmaking to match with players of much lower resonance. Now, I wasn't personally aware of this before, but this will explain why so many of us have had these battles with crazy high resonance whales, because basically they were taking advantage of the way it was run originally. So I'm interested to see what this will look like going forward. So another change is invisibility. So basically, if you deal damage when you're invisible, it will break your invisibility. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, because what is the point in having invisibility then? Might as well just remove that as an option in any builds. But yeah, that seems kind of like a bit of a ridiculous update. I understand it's so that people don't get like killed so easily, but it was one of the advantages for certain builds in particular classes, which now they won't get. Challenge Rift levels, so they're adding 10 new levels to Challenge Rift, so it will go up to 410 from 400. And there are changes to rank 1 clan advantages now as well. So when a shadow clans reach rank 1, the bonus leaps and bounds, which provides 10% increased marks earned by your dark clan members. So that is better for basically helping clans advance into the higher ranks within the shadow clans as well. So lastly, the information I think most people are interested in, and this is the so-called class balance. So there will be some changes to some wizard skills and items. So starting off, we've got Meteor Radius is going to be increased to 2.5 from 2, and projectile movement speed will also be increased. With Arcane Wind, cooldown is reduced to 6 seconds and charges increased by 1, and with Frostfield, the cooldown is going to be reduced to 16 seconds from 20. I still personally feel that that is too long. I don't really see anyone using Frostfield in their builds currently, and I think it's just because the cooldown time is a little bit too long on that and the damage is not that great. So moving from this, we have the wizard items that are going to be affected. So we have Arcane Intensifier, so Disintegrate charge is going to be increased by 1. Vision of the Frozen Path and Crown of Arcane Truth Scorch charges will be increased by 1. Vacia's Resourceful Countenance charges increased by 1. Frostwalkers and Fragments upon Fragments meteor cooldown reduced to 6 seconds from 9 and projectile movement speed increased. Frostwalkers meteor radius will be increased to 2.5 from 2. Robes of the Avalanche, Ray of Frost can now be channeled while moving, so that is a good update for that one. Sin's Cryoclasp, we have Ray of Frost charges increased by 1. Quiet Downpour, Lightning Nova can now be cast while moving, so another good update to that. Then Sildra's Fang and Stagonic Arcane Wind cooldown reduced by 6 seconds from 9, and the charge is increased by 1. Spars of Energy, Teleport cooldown reduced to 15 seconds from 30. And lastly, the one that I think is going to cause the most upset, Rift Carver, Arcane Torrent can no longer target invisible enemies, and the damage is reduced by 9%. So Rift Carver is a essence that I see everyone using at the moment. It is really good in the wizard builds, and wizard is one of the classes that doesn't really need to be nerfed in my opinion. We are not the strongest class in PvP. I would say that is currently Blood Knight, Crusader and Necromancer. They all kind of dominate, and if you have all three on a opposite team to you, you kind of get screwed straight away. But looking at the developer's notes, it says Rift Carver's Chaotic Orb had the ability to track invisible targets, which felt overly strong and a little unfair. We feel that only visible enemies should be targeted. So I'm not going to go through the other class updates. I just feel that with these changes for Wizard, it's kind of like in one hand and out the other. They're given some good updates and they're taking away the one that everyone wants the most. The last thing to mention is bug fixes, but all that information is on the Blizzard website. But yeah, let me know what you think about these updates. I think for Wizard, this is going to be a huge disadvantage and I'm not really looking forward to it. But it will be interesting to see what people do with regards builds, because I think a lot of us are going to be looking into changing our Wizard builds now, and I will try to come up with some solutions as well to swapping out Rift Carver for something else. I'm not sure what we'll do yet, but we'll have a look into this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this information and have a great day.